My name is Beatriz, and actually, today we're going to be speaking about tarot. So, Madelyn Sergel is a tarot card reader, practitioner, an instructor with over 40 years' experience. Her contemporary tarot YouTube channel, she has been doing this for years. She's got well over 200 videos and she's got over 45,000 followers. So there's a lot of people out there that, Madeline has reached out to. So this is a great source of library. So anything that you want to know about any of the cards, great place to start. So it goes from the beginning through to advanced practitioners. Let's face it, we always learn something. We always pick something up. She's also a writer of other tarot adjacent creative projects and also a novel, which I'm really excited to go through and read, which is called The Three Cups, a collection of monologue-inspired individual cards. So the Tarot Monologue is an upcoming independent film. Wow, which is currently in development. You can find Madeline Tarot video library of her contemporary tarot YouTube channel, which I will post also underneath. And she still posts regularly on TikTok. You'll see her popping up with her bubbly personality and also on Instagram. So, Madeline, welcome.
I am so pleased to be here. We've been communicating. I am so excited. I love the work and the interviews you've been doing. I encourage everyone to dive into those. It is thrilling to be here. I am really looking forward to this conversation because us tarot practitioners, we often don't get a chance to talk a little bit long form and really dive in. So I appreciate this opportunity and especially just the relevancy of tarot right now, and especially in self-care and wellness practices. It is a really great tool for the toolbox. So yes, thank you, Beatrice. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the mechanics behind it, because although I think I know tarot, I look at the cards and it's like I have no idea. So do you want to give us a little bit of information about it? What is it?
Tarot is basically, tarot cards is a 78 card playing deck. It is similar to your standard 52 card playing deck, as it has cards from the suits as 4 different suits. It is designed like a deck. Now, this entire deck, each card represents an aspect of the human experience. It can be as big as the mother, the father, to whether to take a nap, or if you're bored, or if you're frustrated. The deck covers pretty much every aspect of human experience, from the micro to the macro. A deck is broken up into 3 components. And I know this is going to get a little dry, but it'll get really exciting soon. You have basically your deck, which is like a playing deck. You have aces, an ace through a 10. And then you have what we call court cards, which would be a jack, king, and queen. Tarot adds another member of the royal court. Tarot adds a page, which is a student. And then we have the major arcana. This is the biggest addition and the biggest change from a traditional playing deck. The major arcana is Jungian themes, universal themes that everyone experiences. It begins with the child, the fool, and it goes through 22 cards, and we have the mother, the father, the family, the sun, the moon, the devil, the star. So all of these universal things. All right, what are you going to do with these? We have a 78 card deck, and then what you do is very easily you think of your question, and then you shuffle the card. And that's the beginning of your first reading. Where tarot came from, it was originally started around the 1400s in Italy. And what it was a basic tarot deck, playing cards. Then they added those major arcana cards. And that led them into using it, what they call divination, or not just playing cards, where you begin to explore different themes. Then it bounced along for centuries. Modern tarot is, I think, as we all understand it, really kicked off in the late 1800s when the Rider-Waite-Smith deck was formulated based on the older deck, the older tarot deck, which was designed in Italy. The Rider-Waite deck took all of these very difficult, sometimes to parse experiences, and put them into visual stories. Each card is a metaphor for an experience. The experience might be working really hard in your garden, which is the Nine of Pentacles. It could be another card, which is nightmares and anxiety. And, oh, yes. But the thing is, these are all metaphors. And so there's all of this opportunity, all of these ideas. And what you do then is then we start building a tarot reading. We're just going to jump to the good part. A tarot reading, you're going to take these 78 cards, right? You have a tarot deck and you have a question. I am going to give an example of a reading. My question is, and this is a very, I'm spinning on a reading I did actually probably 20 years ago, but it was very on point. And I just want to give you an idea. I was reading with someone who was very good at their job, but they were in a corporation and there was a hostile takeover. And they wanted to know what to do. So I was going to actually do a love question, but those are too common for tarot. I think tarot has a much bigger service to us as work, love, family, spirituality. Anyhow, so I designed a reading for this lovely person, and we decided on doing a 3-card reading. So the first position for the card, the first card that I put down was going to represent her in this work experience. Then the next card was going to represent the current state. What's she working with? Is she encountering? Specifically this corporation and her job. And the final position, which is my favorite position for pretty much any reading, it is called the best course of action. Because I have found in my 40 years of tarot reading, that's all we really want to know. We want to know, what am I supposed to do? What? So that's what I went with. Okay, so first card. Now, first I'm going to pull up what I laid out is a court card. So this is royalty. All right, so we have here the Queen of Wands. She's fabulous. The Queen of Wands has complete mastery. She is connected. I find queens are leaders that are completely connected to their community. Kings are a little more hierarchical, a little bit more lonely. Queens are completely connected, articulate, powerful, fantastic. All right, this is our lovely gal who has, run this company and been magnificent. The current situation. We're going to get a major card, and it's reversed. The Emperor reversed. Her situation is, now you can get reversals. The Emperor upright is a lovely king, a leader, a benevolent, wonderful builder. It's reversed. The people coming in are not looking out for her interests. This is a bunch of power plays. There are a lot of things are being unsaid. It's not good. It's a dangerous situation if you have a leader that is chaotic. Her best course of action was so helpful, and it is my least favorite card in the entire deck. Just a side note. It was the Seven of Swords. I'm trying to get it. This is the card of being sneaky, of keeping your head down. Do not engage. Stay out of the battle. Retreat. Go away. Take what you can and get off the field. There is no way to win this game. That was a great reading because she suddenly had, okay, because she knew in her gut what was coming in this situation. That's why she asked for the reading about work. Her gut knew the emperor, this was bad. How do I navigate that? So what we're doing, it's all in her. We're just giving in these images perspective, putting light on it in a different way, a little story. It like cracks open your mind. And women are especially, I find, responsive to these the visual sharing of information in illustration form. It's not words. Can I pivot a little bit on this? Oh my gosh. One of the things I say why tarot is it's very accessible is because there's no gatekeeper of literacy. You have to know the basics, king, queen, but you don't have, you know what, the star, this is a star. You don't have to, there are only two words you have to know. Oftentimes, in many cultures, education, school can often be reserved for young men and not as much for young women. So this is something that is accessible to anyone at any level of formal education. Did I answer?
It makes sense because
Okay.
just seeing things, they resonate with your pictures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's a good way of allowing people to see what is coming, but also then they can choose how they're going to interact with it.
How I view a reading and tarot as imagery, it is really just, it's why people say, oh, it's divination, it's telling the future. If you have a map and you look at a map and you think, oh, the best way to get to here from there is I think I should take the windy route. Now that's kind of divination. You're thinking about where you are and where you're going to go. Tarot is just like an internal map of where you are emotionally, spiritually, right now. It's the map of your interior life. It's the map of the interior of your relationships, of your work. And so there is an aspect of seeing the future, just because if you say, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of turbulence here, I bet that's going to be difficult. And so there is, but it is a way of beginning to understand your interior life so you can more successfully navigate the exterior life.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And for this particular person, they actually thought, yep, that's what I feel, that's what's coming, that's the energy that's coming through. So was it about more listening to her inner guide now that she got confirmation through the cards?
I have found that people can be scared of what can be called the difficult cards. And I understand that completely. But first you have to consider if something is going to encompass pretty much the arc of human existence, bad things happen. So to have any tool of self-exploration that doesn't encompass dark elements and hurt and pain and being betrayed and loss, it's not going to be a helpful tool. I find that probably 90% of the difficult cards I've read for people have been more validating than scary. Because if you're in a place where you're going to get a difficult card, deep down you know it. One time I gave a reading for a woman. I kept every card I turned was worse. It was just, and at that point, I remember I stopped charging her and I kept throwing cards down because they were terrible. And I'm sorry, but yeah, good luck. And then I was I was reading at a shop. I had like a little small place and they were having a gala and I was working. This woman showed up with her husband and her two daughters because the reading was so helpful and like cracked everything open. So then they could like move forward. The reading had to be that. It was, a benign reading would have been untrue. And she wouldn't have gotten it. But it was just, and when she showed up with her family, she was light. She was lighter. We I we have to look at the tough stuff. We do. I find tarot gives us the tools to work with the tough stuff.
Yeah.
And I also, there's years ago, I heard something about Pandora's box.
Please excuse my fitting cough. It was so interesting. You started to say things, and it was almost like getting stuck.
Oh my
And you were
God.
saying about opening up Pandora's box, and I think that's amazing because it almost feels like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Do you know, when we start to culminate all the energy and um, like the American Indians, they would go out for weeks on end to become a man. So when they came back, they had gone through all these difficulties and journeying to come back this whole person again.
hmm
So sorry to interrupt you. What was it about Pandora's box?
Is it was years ago I heard this that it wasn't the things inside the box, all the evil and despair. It was the fact you're keeping them in a box.
Oh, right. Yes.
When you open the box, you let in light. This, the it's like it's not the act, it's the shame and the secret about what happened. It's anything is shame, secrecy, guilt, all of this stuff. We box it and try to lock it away. The more you try to lock it away, worse it gets. So we need the dark stuff because we need to look at it. It's part of the experience of being human.
Incredible. So for this particular person that had a really bad reading, or what you thought it was a bad reading, did they change anything at home, or was it a recognition that allowed them to start working through different facets of whatever it was
That's
that they were going
the
through?
interesting thing about when you're reading for others that you don't see again. I don't know. I'll never
Oh,
know.
okay. Yeah, no,
It
what a
is.
shame.
I do. It is funny though. There have been times where I no longer don't. I don't read like groups of people or anything like that. There are other fantastic readers out in the world, but there was one times I would do some parties, and I would get couples that were in marital difficulties, and I would get the husband's side, and then 4 people later, I'd get the wife's side, and it's because you see getting both these points of view, both very completely valid,
Oh, yeah.
and humans are amazing. We're just fascinating, complicated, crazy, wonderful people. But we're all a mess. Just a quick thing. I've been doing tarot readings for a long time for myself. Everyone's a mess. It's okay. It's really, it's
That's good
it's
to
the
know.
fun part. It's the
We're not
juicy
alone.
part. Yes, yes. I like
So,
this.
do you think that when we do a reading, that
hmm
it taps into our subconscious or allows more of the energy to come through, and it gives us the recognition of being able to deal with it, because it's always less scary when you're with someone else and you're unearthing things, especially when
hmm
it's in a safe place.
hmm
So when you're
hmm
doing it, do you think we tap directly into the subconscious? Do you think it's energetically, or, you know, how? Because everything is linked. I mean, it is so incredible. We can
Mm-hmm.
think of something, pull a card, and it's like, okay, I see where this is
Mm-hmm.
going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, do you think we affect it? It affects us, or it is showing us facets of what we're maybe too scared to look at on some levels?
Mm-hmm. All of the above. There
Okay.
is, it is, it's different for different people. Uh, for me, after years, for me, it is really almost a daily conversation with myself. Um, it is a way of, I think, with the shuffling, and you put down a card just by choosing what the card is about, be it me or my effort today or something, a relationship. Already you're taking all the facets of yourself and choosing one.
Yeah.
So you're like digging deeper
Mm.
by the particular focus, by the question. And I think tarot is, in many ways, it's like a number of incredibly rich practices.
Mm.
I think it's similar to yoga. I think it's similar to there are many practices, indigenous songs, rituals, the Bible, the Torah, the I Ching, Shakespeare's work. All of these works, they're greater than the sum of their parts. And for some reason, each one taps in a different way for people.
Mm.
Some people are yoga is, the epiphany. It's their life. Other people, it might be practicing, might be their faith. They're in an organized religion. But there are many just texts and documents and material that have come through human history when we needed them, and they resonate because they resonate,
Mm.
because they endure, they are tapping into something. And we all try to figure out which one, what is this, and, put the box around it. And these things, there is a wonderful saying, behavior precedes belief. There is a leap of faith with tarot. And I will admit, I am still a little bit skeptical about like 2.5% every time thinking, this can't work. Come on. It's cardstock. This cannot work. And it works. It works, but that's behavior. It's me doing it. And then the belief has come because the behavior so consistently has given me growth and insight and assistance. But it's okay to doubt. Doubt is, if you don't start out with doubt, you know, that's like, because then you actually learn and improve because of the doubt. Yes.
So now you've been doing this like for quite a while, just
Mm-hmm.
a few decades. Now you're saying that you're pulling out a card each time. Do you think that when people do such things that they become maybe superstitious? Oh, I didn't pull a card. I don't know what the day is going to be like. Or rather
Mm-hmm.
that it gives you a confirmation of likelihood of energies that are going to, happen during the day. Or do you
Mm-hmm.
think that some people either become superstitious or they become reliant on it rather than using it like a tool, like getting into the car and going from one place to another?
Mm-hmm. It goes back and forth. There are times when it's definitely you're needy, you're insecure, you keep throwing down cards, just like looking for answers. And I think that's in a lot of practices. You just keep looking for the right answer. And so I
Don't like
think
that one. Don't like that
yeah,
one.
yeah, we need to be okay with that part of ourselves, I think. So that's okay to just be needy. because we bring our humanity to it. That where you are each day. I would say eventually that gets old. Honestly, that desperate search for an answer right now today. Um, it's weird. Eventually, I call it the cards get mushy. You don't get it. Eventually, you don't get any answer. They're just like, stop, you're bothering me. Uh, that's what I think a daily reading, if you're going to explore tarot, is wonderful because it gives you a limit. I do a 3-card reading every morning. Another way to actually explore tarot in a soft way is just pull a card every morning. That's all. And then, go to Contemporary Tarot YouTube channel and click on the meaning, which will be like 3 to 5 minutes. Watch the video, and don't do anything else. Just have the image in your mind. If you do that, and honestly, in a few days, that subconscious of yours is going to start juicing up. It's just going to be like, and it'll start coming. You got to get a deck, man. I do want to say.
Do you know how many decks I have? I've got a little deck, I've got a big deck, I've got a Russian deck. I have so many decks. But yes, obviously, it's saying get onto it.
I was nervous about this podcast. I was very excited, and so finally, I'm doing all my spiritual work, and I finally said, I'm just going to throw down a card to guide me through this podcast today, and I got the 2 of Cups, which is just like 2 friends hanging out. It is fantastic. And so I got that, and then I took a nap, and now I'm here. So yeah. So you can like throw an extra card down if you've got something, like if you've got a date or a job interview, throw down a card. Yes.
And do you think when you've thrown that card, that it gives you a chance to say, okay, take a breath, go for a walk, do some breathing, center yourself, because it's okay. You've got this. Just forget the nerves. I think we get so stuck in this 3D world of ours that we forget that there is so much around us that is out there to support us.
Can I add one more idea for the skeptics?
Yeah,
just a little something to try is when I say shuffle a deck and put out a card, but don't look at it. And then go have your day, and then come back and pour yourself a drink or a cup of tea, and then turn the card over. That, believe it or not, that is a very interesting way to test tarot. I would challenge a skeptic to do that for a week and see what they think at the end. So
that's very good. I mean, a lot of people that haven't gone down the tarot path, or have, like I have, I was always told, you can't buy a deck for yourself. Someone has to give it to you. Otherwise, it's almost like the energies are wrong, and I don't know. They just make it so difficult and fearful that I even gave my kids the money and said, here, go buy me a deck, will you?
all right, let me just ease everyone's mind. Okay, in my humble opinion, there's a reason for this. When tarot first really exploded and began doing readings, we didn't have bookstores, we didn't have Amazon, you could go into a library and go to New Age spiritual and get a book on tarot, right?
Yep.
So how do you learn? You learn from another person. You learn from someone that has a deck and has been taught by someone else. So the person that someone has to give you the deck. If they're giving you the deck, they know about tarot and they can help guide you. It's just, it is a way of ensuring, I think, before you could order books online and go on and get all the meanings, to make sure the meaning was passed along. This is how you do it. Now we don't need that. We can, you can get your own deck, you can get the education. So that I would say, stop worrying about that. And there's also some people say, I won't, other people should only give you readings. You should
Yeah.
never give yourself a reading. I think it's the same, cut from the same cloth, is someone, if they're giving you a reading, then they probably understand tarot, hopefully. And you don't want to give yourself a reading if you don't understand tarot. I mean, you could, but it's a way of helping, I think women especially, but anyone that was interested, to make sure you have a guide, to make sure you have someone there with you in the practice. Because you can fall into it a little bit, if you get a little obsessive. So it is really, and I think having an elder, another practitioner somewhere in the education is really great. Also, giving readings and receiving readings, it's a fabulous way to learn, because even with girlfriends, because I might get a card and I'll say, oh, that must mean this. My girlfriend will go, oh, no, 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 no. That is, and they'll be right because they know you. So friends can give you an objectivity and a different way of looking at the card. It's wonderful.
That's very true, because we get tunnel vision. And so therefore, like, for example, if I get the tower upside down, it's like, my world is going to break. What's happening? It's like, yeah. And someone says, nah, you're just going through this transitional phase. And, but yeah,
I
I
find that
absolutely agree.
oftentimes the tower upside down, it can mean that an explosion's coming, but it can also be it's the rubble afterwards. There's been a tremendous change, and then you have to pick up, and there's rubble and you have to then leave. It's like, oh my gosh, it's the aftermath. It's the day after the earthquake. Then you have to rebuild.
Which is also not a bad thing. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to work and there is a takeover. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's good that, there is a complete change, and a lot of people see that as being fearful. So
Mm-hmm.
we should be approaching it more from a knowledge based, or from a less fearful, and think that no, this is actually good, although a lot of things we think are bad, but it's probably a good thing, because one door shuts and another door opens.
I remember heard someone interviewed, and they were talking about they'd become famous, and it changed their lives, and she referred to it as a trauma. And the interviewer said, well, it sounds great. And she was like, yes, it was, but it was so big that it's traumatic. Even good
Yes.
things can be traumatic, because it's like you have a baby, it's fantastic, but man, it's traumatic. So those kind of, you do have big things. uh the good and bad is kind of from where you're approaching it from.
That's very true. But I think it also comes down to the way that, excuse me, we were brought up, and the fears that were sort of programmed into us. This is good, that is bad. Women were designed to have babies, so that's natural. Stop being such a wuss, get on with it. But we experience such different things. And I assume it's the same with the tarot. When we look at something, we bring in our own idiosyncrasies into it. And
Hmm.
like you said, you had a girlfriend and she said blah, blah, because she knew you,
Hmm.
and it brings another perspective. So it's a good way of looking at having the ability to get out of your comfort zone, so that you can actually learn and see things beyond our rose colored glasses or our tunnel vision. So, do
Hmm.
you think tarot actually changes, or the way that we see it, with different cycles in our own life when we're
Oh,
younger and we're,
absolutely. I mean, I have gone through phases where all I'm getting are queens. And, you just, and the other times where you're like floundering around in your life and you start getting a bunch of pages who are the students. So you definitely go through these cycles. It was interesting when COVID hit here. I got the tower 2 to 3 times a week for a month. It was bananas because it was bananas, so it made sense.
it was crazy times.
It was crazy. You guys did great, as I recall. But so anyhow, yeah,
Yeah, we were
it's
locked down all the time. It was great.
gosh. Oh, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of you guys. So yes. I'm trying. What else? What else should we cover?
Yeah. I mean, so how do you think, though, it has changed and your relationship with the tarot as you've aged? Are you more comfortable with it? Do you still get those slight palpitations at times? Are you fearful sometimes of getting one of those upside down
I
scary
have to.
cards like the sword? Is it the Ten of Sword where the
The Nine of
lady's going?
Swords. The Nine of Swords, I know that well because for me, that's the card of anxiety, and I have OCD. So for me, it represents literally how OCD feels in my head. So it's not great to see it, but I understand it when I see it. For me, tarot, after all this time, it's a conversation, really, I've got to say, with someone I know really well, and they know me really well. So I'm not, if I'm fearful, I know I'm coming in fearful and I'm carrying that. So then generally, I'm not real surprised if I get a more challenging card. Yeah, bad, good.
So have the cards actually assisted you in order to make life easier? So you're not so, you don't have to tick all the boxes, that you can be a bit more fluid. Has it given you more spirituality, more connection to source, more the ability to believe in yourself without thinking that your external world has to be so fixed to give you that peace?
First, I do always appreciate that when I get like the Nine of Swords, a card of the rough part of my humanity. I have a place to look at the rough part of my humanity. That there's sort of like, oh, it's on a card. This is a relief. I'm not alone. I think more is the cards have helped me, or tarot has helped me on actively engaging in my life in 3D, in a sense, in a healthier way. I have a card. I call this my favorite card. It's a minor card. It's the Queen of Pentacles.
Oh,
And why I love her is that when my OCD is flaring or I'm anxious, physical things connect me. Always they ground me, textiles, warm light, soft clothes, nature. And so as opposed to, living in the Nine of Swords with the anxiety in the back of my head, I try to then pivot to her, which is where I think my center lies. So it can be instructional too. Let me just, like the star is this beautiful flowing. You're in flow state. Everyone loves you. If it's reversed, this means that you have got to refill your well.
oh
You have
yeah.
giving and giving and giving. You don't have to shine anymore. You can just step back, fill back up again. I have a good friend, one of my closest friends, who is also who loves tarot, and there's a lot of energy in this chakra right here, and she
Yeah.
like when things that is very powerful. So there are things coming up, And for my friend, it's very right there. So some good work. You're putting light on something. It's
Yeah.
coming out, coming up. There is maybe it's something that you've been needing to say. Oftentimes I find when things get caught here, there is something needing to be said. Something
No, it's great because when the card came up, it's almost like when your cup is full and you get that lovely flowing and life flows and you feel great and you feel centered and balanced. And then when it's upside down, it's because you've been overdoing it, burning the candle at both ends.
yes,
And there could
yes.
be other things coming at you rather than where you're at. And I think that having the ability to stay centered regardless of what comes at you without being, going into anxiety or depression
Mhm.
is incredible.
Mhm.
And
Staying centered it's a tough nut. I think it's probably for everyone. It goes up into the final moments. Is staying as present as you can, as centered as you can. I think it's important to acknowledge when we're not centered, and if you can tap into that, that gives us a lot of, I think, information on how to behave. If not centered, don't jump, don't leap, don't hit send. I'm not centered. I need, there's so much of giving ourselves, I think, the room to be off centered. Because I find balance. There's a wonderful card, the Lovers, in the tarot, and some people say it involves balance, but it's interesting because balance is always dynamic.
yeah,
You're always having to balance. It's never, maybe for a moment, there's one perfect day, but it's every day is finding your center, every single day. It's
yes,
bananas.
absolutely. Because each time there is a difference. There is difference with the people we meet, difference with places that we go to, and the energy that we get bombarded with. And let's face it, we're all a bunch of molecules and we
Mm-hmm.
affect one another.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to love the Venn diagrams, back in maths where you had the two big circles, and the
Mm-hmm.
closer they got, the more interaction they had between them. It's like that because of our toric field. We all affect one another,
Oh,
whether we
yes.
like it or not. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes not in such a good way. And
If
if
it's like if you're in a relationship and as centered as you are, if you're sharing the same space with someone,
yeah,
their bad mood is going to affect you. Just even because you have to pivot around it. And
yeah,
so there's always variables entering our lives each and every day. And it
yeah,
is, finding that place where you can, finding your rituals and your spaces, but also just being able to take information in, pivot, stay centered. Whew, it's a great idea. I'd love to get
yeah.
there.
Do you think it's a good time to draw a card, or do you think people would have a greater tendency to use it more like a crutch than trying to get themselves back into center, doing a few breaths,
Mm-hmm.
um, anchoring to Gaia so that, we start to bring it into ourselves, like we use the tarot to assist us, and then it's up to us to take it over and say, I got this.
Yes, and like I said, it's a map. You have to walk. You have to change your behavior or keep your behavior the same. It's merely information, and that's what the free will comes in. This is just information. You choose to act. You choose to take this in, to not take it in. But I do want to say again that just sort of returning to how powerful it is to be able to be your own authority, to have practices. I think yoga is also like this too. Is like when you start doing yoga, you need a skilled instructor. But then eventually, when you're advanced, you can do your own practice. And this is very similar. It helps to have information and assistance and mentorship. But if you practice regularly, it will come quickly. And it's not for everyone, because some people they want the written word. They want black and white and a list. Tarot is you're shuffling each single time. There's always change. I think it's helpful because the world's always changing. But there are many different practices that can be tools in our toolbox. I think tarot is a very good one too, because also you can dabble. It's allowed to dabble. You could just throw a card down and put it on your desk and think about it. You could have a party with girlfriends, get a bottle of wine, start throwing down cards, let's go on, let's on Google and see what this means. That's okay. There's sort of this thing of like, ooh, the Celtic Cross spread, can I just say that's the most popular tarot spread, the most well-known tarot spread. It is, in my humble opinion, an absolutely terrible tarot spread. Everyone starts with it. It stinks. It's not helpful. There's some wonderful current books that have wonderful starter spreads of just kind of the meaning, the position for each card. Start with a small 3-card spread. Don't get in your head too much, and play. Because more than anything, tarot, as much fun and as terrible life is, tarot is the same. It's fun. It can be kind of terrible, but it covers all of it, and it covers it on your terms. In the sense that, like the cards like today, my terms, this is you and me. For me
great.
today, this is you and me. It's totally my terms. I don't have someone saying, oh, well, this represents you and your husband, and this is blah, blah, blah. No, today, that was you and me. So it's me and my life. Oh, I just got tingles. Okay.
I mean, it's very good point, because I think that a lot of times when people are shuffling, they think of so many different things, and therefore their energy is scattered and the information that they've received is scattered. So I guess in a way it's also teaching them how to focus on something so that they can hone their energy into where they want to go.
I have found there's even room for that. There is a card position called Wisdom of the Cards. If you're feeling too scattered and I can't do a card for me, and the wisdom of the cards, what do I need to know? I do have one warning. There is every so often you're looking for an answer. I'm looking for the card right now. I'm trying to find the one I'm thinking of. But sometimes the tarot will tell you you're not supposed to know. Oh, and God, is that annoying? That's because that's why I'm doing the reading.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes, like there's this one card. Look, she's blindfolded. She's tangled up. A lot of ideas around her. She can't do anything. One time there's this woman, she was worried about her son or something, and it was fine. But it was like, what should you do? And the card said, absolutely nothing. Don't do anything. And I have gotten the don't do anything instruction. It has saved my fanny more times than I can tell you. Where you like want to go and tell someone, off, and you do a card and you're like, no, shh, no, don't go. So it is because I give read. Oh, this is another one. Oh my God. When you can't decide.
Yeah.
When you're literally in the dark, right? We got the moon there. You were in the dark. blindfolded, you're weighing two options, and you can't decide. Very annoying, but part of life.
That's amazing because yeah, I would have seen that the two was almost like being at a crossroad. But
Mm-hmm.
it makes so much sense that, well, it's twofold, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It
No
can be
pun
both.
intended. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very good. And yet they're blindfolded, but at the same time, they are in the dark in more than one way
Mm-hmm.
because it's the darkness around them as well as their internal
Internal dark.
unknownness.
And
Yeah,
also, you'll also see in the background there's turbulent water.
yeah,
There's just like it's like when your mind is turbulent and you just keep going back and forth. It's like that hamster wheel in your head.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fast. Once you dive in and interesting. It's like I said, it's great fun and it is not scary. It's quite helpful.
The way that you've done it on your channel, having 3 to 5 minutes per
Mm-hmm.
card, it makes it so much more doable and less scary. Because let's face it, I sometimes, in the past, I haven't touched tarot for probably 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I would pick up a card and it would be like, okay, or do a past, present, and future.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't play with them enough. Not
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everything's energy. Like I would do yoga every single day, and there was something about it. I was centered, I was focused. During the chaotic time, it was my way of coming back to my own center.
Mm-hmm.
And because I wasn't doing tarot enough,
Mm-hmm.
therefore I was expecting, give me an answer now. Come on, like, what are you waiting for? And it's like, it doesn't work that way. There's the same thing with yoga. Any kind of a practice, in order for it to become imbued in you and for you to get the most out of it and for you to
Mm-hmm.
come back to center, you have to do it.
I've got to say that thank you about. I do want to talk about the channel a little bit, the Contemporary Tarot YouTube channel, because I just want to explain it. Because it's basically, if you're an old timer, you know the card catalog where you had the card catalog in the library. The Contemporary Tarot YouTube channel I started it about 10 years ago. And this is when YouTube was just really catching on. And so, at the time, it was your branding must be very consistent. Now everything is like change and chaos. But it is, if you go into the Contemporary Tarot YouTube channel, it is like a fusty old library. It is just the title of what the card is, and then a 2 to 5 minute video of me explaining each card's meaning. So the card upright and the best course of action if you get it upright, and that same card's meaning reversed, and your best course of action if you get that reversed.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do a 3 card reading and click onto each one of my videos just for the meaning. And in about 10 minutes, you're going to be done. Why I created this too was when I started looking for information about tarot on YouTube. Again, it was early on. Is all the videos were really long. There would be
Yeah.
a video about the Fool, and it would be 20 minutes. And I just didn't have that kind of time. So I realized if I was like that, other people were. So I just started doing the 3 to 5 minute videos. If you go through it, you'll see me thin, you'll see me fat, my hair changes because I did it over probably 3 years, maybe. 7 to 8 cards is a lot to cover. So, but I have always tried to respect people's time. And I
Yeah.
hope it to be just a standing resource, like a reference library. I
Mm.
don't go off on tangents, and there's some people that really explore certain cards. This is wham bam out the door. And then you have the basis, and then you can start digging in. But it's it's like the Cliff Notes. Do you have Cliff Notes? The Cliff Notes that summarize things? It's in the United States. Anyway,
Oh.
old-timey thing, but it would be summaries of like Great Expectations, and it would be like
Oh, right. Yep,
5 page
yep, yep.
summary.
Yes,
So
yes, there are little books that the kids can actually buy that gives
yes,
them the condensed version so they can do the exam.
that's what my YouTube channel is. It's just the condensed version. So if you have to cheat on your tarot test, you can go to my website. So, but yeah, there's a lot of content there. But I also do want to shout out, especially with TikTok coming out, there is a lot of amazing content out there. I consider myself kind of like more the elder. You know, we got some crones and elders, and there's some people doing some really dynamic, wonderful work. And I do caution, watch out, there, scammers and people that are trust yourself, but do go on TikTok if you want like some short information. Same with YouTube. There are really some glorious educators out there. And I think this practice is growing. And so dig in. It's a very positive group of people. So I'm a fan.
That's good. Yes, I mean, it's as I said before, it's a double-edged sword because we have so much information
Hmm.
that a lot of people become overwhelmed and
Hmm.
therefore it makes it very difficult. So if someone was starting out, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to get a deck.
Yep.
The Rider Waite Smith is the traditional deck that most modern decks are based on. So it's sort of the standard reference material. Get that 78 card deck. You can get it online in the United States. I think it's about $25. You can get them at bookstores. Fun fact, if you cannot acquire your own tarot deck, you can make one. If you can get to the internet, right? So you can get the meanings. You can take playing card decks, right? Two of them, and then turn them in to a tarot deck. Then add the second deck, like this is the Emperor.
That's
This
great.
is the High Priestess. So I can get them reversed. Right. Now, this is definitely a down and dirty tarot deck. It helps, you know. But like I said, this is, you don't need to read. You need 78 cards and an understanding of or access to the meanings of the cards. Of course, you would have to know what the cards look like to use my crazy magician deck, that deck. But anyhow, but get a deck and shuffle and start playing. Start playing. Just put a card down, learn about it, go to my YouTube channel, and there'll be suggestions on how to do a reading. If you're relaxed, it'll be more fun, it'll be more open. You could explore with a friend you trust. Also, I must say that I have had tarot readings from many other people. No one does it the same way. So, whatever way you figure out, that's your way. That's okay. And look at other examples. But again, it's very intuitive. It's very personal and fun and juicy. It's an emotionally and spiritually juicy practice.
Because I remember one time a friend of mine was trying to teach me tarot, and they brought out the Kabbalah, and they said, "Oh, on this one you do this, and on this one you do that. It's the energy of this." And the only thing he gave me was palpitations because I thought, this is too hard. I don't want to do this. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in learning. It takes way too long.
Hmm.
So, for our listeners today, what would be the one thing that you would want them to take away from all this?
Tarot cards are a wonderful tool for the toolbox. It is a great way to explore your life with no judgment, no crazy stakes. It's just about you and your internal life and play around. And I think the more you have fun exploring these images, it's going to open up a lot of good feeling, some bad feeling too, but then you're putting light into it. I'm just going to go behavior precedes belief. try it. I kind of
Oh,
don't want to tell
100%.
someone how to do it because I'm getting back, then I get into my head of like the best way. Get a deck, see if it appeals to you, and figure it out, and then get back to me and tell me what you do.
That's absolutely wonderful. And more people should apply that to their life. You can believe before you see, because, going back to something as simple as the 4-minute mile, it was 4 minutes and 1 second the first time that someone ran it or they set a record for it. It took another 91 years before someone else broke that record. And then it only took 46 days for it to be broken again. So this was back in the 50s when they broke it. Now, there's been close to 2,000 people that have broken it since then, but it's very much that thing that I see, therefore I believe, rather than I believe and I see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
great. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun. And
Thank
I've
you
learned.
so much. And everyone, check Beatrice out. Some great material, a lot of content. And I've just been thrilled to spend this time with you. Thank you so much.
And you, thank you so much for teaching me and also allowing me not to be fearful of tarot, because it was always that thing. I'm not terribly sure about this. And as I said earlier, someone had to buy it for me because of superstition. And superstition is
Mhm.
just a way of letting us get stuck. So remember, it's all about you. Whatever it is that you do, just be happy doing it.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.